All right, testing. Cool. So this is a first attempt at recording Twitch voice time for YouTube. People to miss it. I'm going to focus mostly on PA for this, as opposed to anything else. So not everything will always be uploaded, but I'm going to try and have most of it on YouTube, so the actual valuable content, so that if people miss it, there's a place to come back. I'm going to be winging it today because I haven't actually prepared anything. So, YOLO. So there's not a lot you can say here. It's pretty bullish. It's so bullish, in fact, that there's not a lot you can do. I'm fully spot long since like 47. A few trades that okay, one thing that did happen that was really painful. I bought this dip and I set take profits, but they didn't quite fill. Oh, this is on the 4 hour. It's the hourly. So, this was right when I started trading a little bit again. So I bought here the stop loss, and I didn't take profit here, and then it wicked back down. I was actually asleep. I think I had take profit somewhere up here. It wicked back down and stopped me out before this move up. And this was the first big trade I took after losing from last month. So anyways, but that's just how it goes. Market is not there. The market doesn't owe you anything. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. It's just part of it. It was like a pretty good size too, given, I mean, nothing like I was trading before, but it was sizable enough to matter. But anyways, I had my redemption here last night. I put I had a bunch of bids here, and I got filled almost perfectly on all of them. I had a stop. I think I had a stop here at 50.28, and I rode most of them up to here. I took profit on about 70% here, and then I let the rest of it ride, and actually I'm still in most of it. I shorted a little bit here and covered. So I had a redemption here, which felt good. Nothing crazy, but enough money to matter. So anyways, during this whole move, Bitcoin dominance has been the thing, I think, on a lot of people's minds. It's been like just an absolute straight move up for the last like 2 days. Alts were just totally hammered until basically about 5 hours ago. The hour after the move up, saw alts get a bid pretty strong. So right about I work pretty soon, Mountain. I'll see you there. We can be co fry cooks. You can cover my shift when I stream. Yeah. Anyway, so alts got a bid about halfway through like this hourly candle, and then especially here, I think. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I think it's I'm kind of torn 50-50, and I'm not really trading any alts anyways because I never really trade alts, but I definitely think that you could try and catch some retests on whatever your favorite DeFi thing is or whatnot, but I still think Bitcoin's going to be the focus. So if you do try and play alts, even if you win on an alt trade, there's opportunity cost there because you could have probably been trading Bitcoin instead. So I don't know. It's kind of up to you. I think over the next month or two, Bitcoin is still going to be most likely the place to be. So I think there's risk and focusing too much on anything else. But that being said, there's still some really good setups, I'm sure. Yes, Frag absolutely hit on Adventure Gold. I don't know if he's been bragging. I don't know if he's been bragging in chat. He should. He should be. Actually, Frag has just killed it all around. I'm pretty sure Frag took all my money. So if anybody wants to know where my money went, most likely Frag has it. Anyways, so what happens next? I'm not gonna do altcoin TA because I'm not an altcoin TA guy. Anyways, open interest has been. If I can get, I'll get open interest up so we can look at it. Hold on. All right. So since the Valhalla Omega candle this morning, open interest on interesting coin margin open interest didn't really do anything, but open interest on stable coins has been dropping. And on Bybit obviously took a hit. The stable coin thing makes sense because basically people are margined in USD, right? It's like the opposite of this is like the opposite of a squeeze down, basically squeezing longs out for coin margined. People trading stable coin margin, aka linear futures, are margined in USD, meaning that any short you have when you're margined in USD gives you a liquidation price because your collateral is in USD. So if you hold $1 million in Tether and you're trading on Binance and you short $1 of Bitcoin, still have a liquidation price. So essentially, there's no way to safely short with when your collateral's in stablecoin. So this just means that essentially every person on the short side has a liquidation price, and that means that you're going to get a stronger reaction to short squeezes on USD margined, and you can obviously see that. I mean, this is like a great example where overall coin margin contracts didn't really get hit much versus the stable coin margin ones still did. Now that being said, obviously degenerate exchanges like Bybit still got a huge hit. But this is just something to pay attention to. Shorting is very, very risky. Levels that I would look at. Out for a second. So the first thing is you don't really need to short. There's just like no reason short. If you see an opportunity like a huge squeeze like we had, it's probably okay to take a small trade. Like I shorted the God candle, but I only did it because it got so far overextended, right? So I wasn't planning to short. I wasn't looking for a short. The only reason I shorted this candle was because once it got above like 55K, I felt pretty comfortable low leverage shorting. Now, could I have gotten wrecked? Yeah, but I mean, I think I had a safety stop around like 57K. So, and my liquidation price, this was on Bybit. With one Bitcoin, I had my liquidation price still high up in like the high 60s, high 60K. So it's not like I was maybe risking at the worst case, I was risking maybe like 20%, right? So it wasn't anything substantial. But anyways, the point being is I wasn't looking for a short. I only took this short because it was just so insane. So I would say that's the same mindset. Like I wouldn't be trying to short this. If you get a crazy squeeze and you can take some kind of short with sort of an emergency stop loss somewhere, yeah, sure. I mean, that's fine. But I think looking for shorts is a bad idea. That being said, if I were looking for a place to if I was worried about hitting resistance, for example, like I've still got some longs open, and my spot also, which if I'm looking where to consider maybe de-risking, I honestly think the first area is going to be in here, this 57 a pretty obvious area of interest. Um, somewhere between these two, probably. I should extend that. Hold on. I think you guys can get this chart too for anybody who's not sure. So, I know there's a lot of lines going on, but I would be looking somewhere in here probably. Something in this area in terms of taking off some size on swings. Um, I kind of feel like if we get close to 50 this area, well, it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't. I mean, it's clearly resistance, but I'm not sure how. If we get close to 60K, I almost feel like the power of that magnet is going to pull us pretty strong. So if we get close to here, I wouldn't be too surprised if we just impulse through. We could then retest, but I don't know. I think if we get up here, I mean, at that point, we're looking to potentially just go straight up, maybe to 65K. Um, I don't have any plans to sell spot. I don't have any plans to flip bearish bias. I mean, at this point, it's like we've detached from the S&P. We've detached from global equity markets. This is a new paradigm. This is uncharted territory in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin is detached from the S&P before, but I think that's high time frame stuff. That doesn't mean low time frame I won't scalp shorts. I definitely will scalp shorts. But yeah. Anyways, I think you can try and basically buy any dip. At this point, I think 50K is pretty safe. I think there's a pretty low chance that we retest 50K anytime soon. And I think if we did retest 50K, that would really change everything. So I think that if you can, I don't think you're gonna probably get anything down here. But if you can, I would say even high 53s would be great entry. You can get something around here, like a retest of that, the low on the hourly right after the God candle. You can get something down here, that would be great. So I would be looking to go long. I would probably try here for a quick scalp, and then size up here, with sort of emergency stops probably down here, and manually adjusting based on how things behave. So that would be my scalp. For shorts, I probably would look to scalp short here, just for a quick something. Zoom out again. I do this on my ultra wide. Hard to see everything, but yeah. So if we look again, the nice thing is you've got a lot of levels. Oh, did the chat overlay vanish? Okay, I haven't really been. Is it there? Oh, I don't know. I see it. I don't have the stream open. Can you guys see it? There. Good job, Zal. Way to help. Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably scalp short 56, a little over 56 if I can. What was I saying? Oh, the good thing is you've got a lot of levels to reference off to the left, which is nice. So so basically you can kind of you know, we're not in price discovery, so you've got just tons of I would argue you almost have too many levels. Maybe too many levels. So there's a lot here. So maybe we could just even clean some of this up. Although, I mean, I don't know. They're all pretty good, if I'm being honest. Like I do feel pretty good about the levels. Oop, FTT getting a little bit of a bid here. I'm gonna add a tiny bit. So yeah, so anyways. Yeah, these are all pretty good. This is, I don't know what this is. Yeah, this is pointless. Let's get rid of that. Even that's pretty good. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I think these are all pretty valid levels, to be honest. You can even see this guy kind of playing out. So there's just so many levels here that in a way you kind of just have to use them as a reference. Um, there are so many levels that probably if you're not trading some level, there's no reason you shouldn't be. So there's you have so there are so many levels to use as a guide right now that if your trade doesn't line up with some historical level from the previous time we were up here, I don't think there's a reason to take the trade. Um, did I go back to old mic? No, I'm using my AirPods. My new mic, I'm missing the cable. I lost the cable, so I've never gotten a chance to use it. Yeah, I'll have it hopefully by tomorrow or the next day. I'll have a cable for it. Um, okay. Anyways, yeah. So basically, I would try and look for trades that line up with levels that you have past from the past price action. So that means longing, trying to long. Well, I do think you could long this. I'll just put something here. In the short term, I think you could long there. You can get it. So anything, but I don't think you're gonna probably get it. I don't know. And if you don't get it, don't chase. So that's it. Looking for longs. I'll take any long in the low 54s. 53.8 would be like size up. I would go really hard here. But if you can get anything down here, otherwise, I'll scout short 6 like that. But again, it would be a tight thing. It wouldn't be something very serious. Other than that, there's not really much you can do. I don't think there's any reason to sell your spot or even close swings. There's no reason that this can't keep going. I would say 58, 57, 58, 59 is first trouble area. Probably 57 is the first serious trouble area in here. So something like this for taking off some of your swing trades. But I'm not convinced. Don't just keep going. It'll really depend on how, I guess I want to see how equity markets do play out. If Bitcoin continues to just fuck off against the equity markets and shrug off any bearish anything, I think that would be an enormous indicator that people just don't care about what the stock market does. And that would be incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. Yeah, ETF stuff. I have no idea. I mean, like if I was a regulator, would I approve an ETF for Bitcoin? Probably not. It's like, but on the other hand, it does seem inevitable. And like, how long can they put it off? Um, so I think the odds are better now than ever. So if you ever thought there was going to be an ETF, this this round of decisions in November, December that are coming through are the most likely to play out in favor of approval ever. I still think it's like at best 50% shot, especially with the SEC sort of cracking down and just overall a lot of regulators wanting to regulate. I think it'll be a question of like, is the plan for them to regulate first and then approve an ETF or attempt to regulate, or are they going to try and just approve the ETF and then try and regulate after? Um, and I don't even know what regulate means in this context, but we'll see. Um, so honestly, it's kind of a crapshoot, 50% chance maybe, which is probably better than anything we've ever had. So I'd say 50% is still pretty bullish. Um, that's it. Okay, guys, that's basically all I got. There's not a lot to say. Everything's bullish, except for altcoins are questionable. Um, the bid was really strong over the last 5 hours, but we'll see if it's sustained. I think if it sustains and it starts grinding up, that's an indicator that alts are going to continue to try and stay on par with Bitcoin. I think that if we retrace the pump that most altcoins got following the Bitcoin God candle, that would be an indicator you can probably look to maybe start shorting some of the ones that have shown weakness after huge moves. So coins that have showed weakness after large moves, I think the best one that comes to mind for me is Solana. Even though Solana itself is really bullish as sort of on a fundamental standpoint, you can easily see how it has um, basically, from a TA standpoint, it looks pretty weak. Um, and I think that in the short term, that's all that's going to matter. I don't think anything else is going to matter. Um, BTC pairs. I'll look at the BTC pair in a second. So yeah, you can. I mean, you can see this. This looks a lot like sort of a right shoulder or a lower high here after this insane rally. And you can even see how quickly this pump got retraced. Obviously, it did manage to sort of round out a little bit here, but I'm not super. I think these kind of coins that look like this are good examples of things that if you're bearish on alts for the next couple of weeks, these are the ones you can short where you get some risk definition. Yeah, that's a good take. Sol has always been kind of counter Bitcoin. This is not a hate on Sol at all. This is just it's just if Bitcoin is going to be bullish and Solana's already had such a huge run up, in my opinion, that makes it a prime candidate for um, basically being counter Bitcoin. Um, so that's what I would look to. I would look. You can also use the indexes on FTX if you trade there. I don't know. I don't really have a take on like what indexes will outperform other indexes. So you could almost just like allocate a little bit into shorting the different, like the mid perp, the exchange perp, the shit perp, and then use that as sort of a hedge against your Bitcoin exposure. Because if the entire market nukes, you can bet that the alts will still nuke, right? But if Bitcoin continues to rally, I think that there's a good case to be made that you'll still outperform, Bitcoin will still outperform most, or at least the indexes. But you have to size accordingly, right? So that doesn't mean like go 1 to 1 because the volatility is so much higher on those alt coins. So for example, if you have like 100K Bitcoin long open, you want to hedge, you might look to do something like 30K worth of shorts throughout the different, the different baskets. So mid, shit, exchange. I wouldn't short the high, what is it? The high cap ones. Um, what do they call it? Is there even one? I know there's mid, right? There's something above mid for FTX perps. Oh, is that what they call it? But what? Yeah. What is there a basket for it though? Shorting venture. I'm not shorting frag. I refuse. Yeah, maybe there's not. Does mid have ETH in it? Hold on a sec. I'm looking. Oh, okay. Alt perp. Yeah, I would not short alt perp. I guess that's the higher cap one, right? Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, a lot of those are kind of garbage, but some of them are not. So yeah, I wouldn't short alt perp personally. But anyways, I think the bottom line though is if you're gonna try and play some sort of like big brain advanced hedging scheme by shorting index type things, my advice is to keep it small because you just don't know what's gonna happen. Um, Any premium plays? No, I'm keeping things really simple. So I don't have any plan. I'm not going to try and do anything big brain right now because I think I just need to focus exclusively on what I know how to do, which is scalping Bitcoin, and I need to do it with the goal of trying to be accurate and win trades. So um, I don't want to try and like do anything that is too advanced because I think it's going to distract from that job. So that's the main reason. That doesn't mean there aren't opportunities. It just means I'm not going to look for them. So um, yeah. Is there a story? Yeah, you can see. If anybody, do you not follow me on Twitter, Crypto Viet? Follow me on Twitter because that's where I update stuff. I withdrew a lot, but obviously I lost a lot of money. I mean, so I'm starting from one Bitcoin on Bybit, and I'm gonna just keep trying to. I'm just sizing everything down because I don't trust myself. The bottom line. Um, this is how I started streaming back in February after a losing streak. I just deposit. I think I started with zero point 0.4 Bitcoin back then, and I just basically just was grinding it up from there. So that's the play here. Um, Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, and also I think it'll be probably more sort of relatable and easier to sort of identify my progress. So I think that keeping things sort of round numbers and focusing on focusing on just trying to grow my Bybit account is going to make it easier to sort of measure my progress and only focus on winning, not trying to do anything, not trying to make it all back, right? I'm trying to set myself up to succeed. Well, I don't know if anybody can trust themselves. I think that if you think you can trust yourself, it's an illusion. I mean, maybe there's some people that just have it and don't are not affected, but I don't. Even salsa is the same. So I think that if you can't trust yourself, if you think you can trust yourself, you're probably lying to yourself, what I think I did. The second thing is there are easy ways to sort of protect yourself from yourself, and the easiest way is to always withdraw, put your money in a lot of different places, and I mean obviously try and set loss limits that you can follow, but that's easier said than done. But basically, I think the biggest thing you can do is withdraw, pull money out, and put money in different places, invest, stake, lock money up in either staking or in some sort of yield farming type situation, withdraw money to your bank account, put your money in tons of different places because I think what happens is when you trade on tilt, you can blow up the account really fast, but it's a lot harder to keep losing when you have to keep redepositing. There's some sort of like mental reset that comes when you have to move money into your account, and I think that's something you got to use to your advantage. Basically, the act of having to top up a trading account alone is like a huge mental like reset. It's like a shock to the system, and I think that alone can save you from losing it all. If you have 100% of your money on a single account, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I just don't see how you won't eventually spiral. Maybe you won't, but I think most people will. So I think the best thing you can do is diversify your money into different places, but also withdraw. I mean, if you've made money, put some of it in your bank account or stake it or just put it somewhere that's hard to get. Um, so, anyways, all right. I want to get back to Teal Street so we can let everybody in to start using it because I'm super excited. So that's all I got for now. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. I'll link on Twitter. Good to be back. I'll leave the stream on as usual, and I'll be on voice if there's any major reason to. I will be on voice. If there's something crazy that happens. Um, but otherwise, I'll be on voice tomorrow at 9 Pacific Standard Time. That's the plan. All right, guys, let's go. Do it. Peace.